How's everybody? We are live. Thank you for those that are on the live and those that will be in the replay. Can you do me a favor if you're coming on? Just remember to like. And so I am excited about my guest tonight. If you did not see last week, so this week is going to be honoring Carnival Cruise Line. Last week we had a great conversation with Seth Grooms, which is the key account manager for Carnival. If you have not seen that, make sure you go and check that live out as well. So much information when it comes to Carnival for those that really love Carnival. Thank you for those that's coming on. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, See It with C. Happy Monday. Thank you for coming on. Those in the replay as well. Like, comment, share tonight. Continuing this talk about Carnival, one of my favorite cruise lines. We are going to have Carnival Cruise Addicts. They are here in person. Thank you so much for coming on, Carnival Cruise Addicts. Say hi to the people.
Hello,
Hello.
everybody. Thanks for
Hey. And since this month I am featuring my vlogs on Carnival Glory, and I figured let's talk about Carnival. So we started it out with last week. Now Carnival Cruise Addicts, who else but Carnival Cruise Addicts to talk about Carnival? So tell the people who may not be familiar with you how to find you, how long have you been content creators? And we'll go from there.
Okay, well, we started our YouTube channel July of last year.
Oh, okay.
So a little under a year and a half, but we've been cruising since 1999. So we
Wow.
absolutely love cruising. We've been on 60 cruises, 58 with Carnival, and it's like obviously our favorite vacation, and obviously we like Carnival.
and hence the
So,
name.
what was your first experience with content creating? Why did you decide, let's share our experiences instead of just being a cruiser? Because a lot of people go on vacations, but they've never got to the point where they said, I want to make it a purpose to share my experiences via YouTube or some other type of social media platform.
I mean, I never wanted a YouTube channel, but he did. But during like the pandemic, I think like everybody else, like I got jonesing for cruising, and I was
Yes.
starting to watch, all the creators out there, Lalita Lonka,
Yeah.
Just Don, like I found Island Town Coach Cruise, Para DJ, like all these cruiser or content creators, and they gave me my like fix. And I'm like, Chris is like, you're watching this all the time. You could do this. We could do this. And I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't like being on camera, which is true. I hate it. I absolutely hate this.
And
Um,
at that point, we've been on 50 something cruises,
Uh,
and I was like, I think we have valuable input that we can put out there for new cruisers, existing cruisers,
yeah.
people just to teach the tips and tricks that we've learned. And it took all of a year and a half, if not two, to convince her to do it. And originally it was supposed to be us doing it, and it's
Uh-huh.
her. But she does all the editing stuff like that. But yeah, no, we did it to have fun, I mean, and just learn from the people around us and teach what we've learned.
and I did not realize like how big of a like community YouTube
Yeah.
is. You can really make all these connections. Like the support we've gotten is amazing. Like it's just really phenomenal.
See the wall.
Yeah. Yeah.
But pretty much everything up here, a couple of things are ours, but pretty much everything was sent to us by other content creators. So
Yeah.
it's really cool. It's a
Yeah, it
great
is.
community.
It's cool for sure.
So if you're just coming on, this is Liz and Chris from Carnival Cruise Addicts, fellow YouTubers, content creators. And so you said that you wanted to have fun. So it wasn't about the views, it wasn't about the subscribers. So you weren't frustrated dealing with that. You just want to be able to share your experiences as YouTubers and as cruisers. So that's how
Yeah.
you saw it. Because sometimes people can be so frustrated, just wanted to get the views, just wanted to get the subscribers. And then that could be like give you a level of anxiety while you're still trying to learn the craft of recording and being comfortable being in the camera as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's part of like why it's been like such a journey for us is like we never had a goal in mind to get monetized. Like I didn't even know what that meant. Like
Right.
I didn't know how people have made money on YouTube. Like our goal was just to have fun, be ourselves. Like we always said, if we change our personality because of this, like we're done.
We're done.
Like
Yes.
we just want to be ourselves. And if people don't like it, then don't watch,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
We'll offend some people, and we may not offend some people, but either way, it's us. So, this is us on our cruises, us being ourselves, and that's the way it's always going to be until Liz's point. And if that changes, because we've watched a ton of YouTube channels throughout the years, and they kind of change over time to where it becomes more of a business. Not saying there's not a lot of
Yeah.
work. I mean, she's editing, doing this, doing that. I mean, doing
Yes.
a ton of stuff. So yes, there's work involved, but as long as it's still fun and you're enjoying it, I think it's okay.
And I think like for us, like we actually were really like fortunate. We got monetized
Mhm.
in, like I think it was like 10 months. We are
Yeah.
fully
Yeah.
monetized. So it happened pretty fast. And it actually is probably because I put out this one video that was like a casino video and
Uh,
it went like crazy. So we got lucky with that. Um,
But it's still the point of putting out good content, and that one did go nuts. And so yeah,
yeah, but we are in this to have fun, to educate. Like the experience of the community that we found is so meaningful to us.
yeah.
The fact that you asked us to be here like means a lot to us.
I mean, who ever a
That is
million
appreciated.
years that
Thank you for
somebody would say,
coming.
we want to interview. I'm like, me? Why? I'm half bald. I'm damn near 50. Who wants to interview this guy? So it's really cool. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. And so, what is your favorite type of videos to put out? So, I know you have the Yakety Yak series. If you've never seen it, it's where they see what John held, which is the Carnival ambassador, and what questions is being posed to him, and then they will review the questions, give answers, give clarity. So, is it vlogging videos? Is it the Yakety Yak really dealing with John held? Is it like some tip videos? So, like, what is kind of your favorite? Like when you're producing it, like, yeah, I love vlogs. I love this. I love that.
So for me, my favorite is the Yakety Yaks because they're the easiest to
Edit.
edit and put together. And
Okay.
it's, I mean, it does take time, but it's not like a ship tour where you're like spending hours and hours and
Yeah.
hours. It's like, oh my gosh, I missed this whole venue. Like, what am I going to do? And,
Right.
but I do enjoy the vlogs, like the day vlogs. It's nice to get like a memory of like what the day was like when you were there. We're not the kind of content creators that like, as soon as we're back, we're pushing out content. Like we
Yeah.
want to take our time and I mean, like I said, we both work, and so trying to like do it in
Yeah.
between before and after work and on the weekend. So my favorite would be the Yakities for ease of editing, but I think people enjoy the educational ones where you're
Hmm.
informing and like helping like newer cruisers know what to expect. I think those are like the most meaningful.
Yeah, I mean, like she said, the ship tours are the longest and the biggest pain in the butt to put together.
Long time.
Yeah, I mean, so it takes a long time, but that was like I'll get on a cruise ship and I want to walk on the cruise ship like this. I
Hmm.
want to see it. She wants to see every aspect of it,
Yeah.
and that's why she puts together these amazing ship tours and gets like pretty much every nook and cranny because yes, they're the biggest pain in the butt, but that's her personal thing is getting on a cruise ship and knowing where everything is. I'm walking around almost literally walking into walls. She's like, no, you go this way, this way. That's here, that's here, that's it. Here's the deck plan. Here's this, here's that, here's the other thing, So it takes a ton of work, but I think those are like some of her most successful videos that she puts out is the ship tours.
Yeah, because that's what people want to see.
Yeah.
Most people
Yeah.
are like me and don't like go in blind.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think people realize how much work goes into it because even after you see it, then the editing, especially put some effects on it and words and the floors and all these different things, how much work it takes to go into something like a ship tour. And so, okay, so that is great. So one of the things that I'm glad you mentioned that because some YouTubers could have an issue and feeling like as soon as they come back, let me put it out, let me put it out, let me put it out. And so I think it becomes now as YouTubers who may not do it full time, it really is about balance, right? I think you want to put it out, you want to get more views, if you're monetized, you know that it can get you more money, but at the same time, at what is the drawback? Because you're pushing yourself, especially when you have full lives, you have families, things of that nature, for the sake of just putting out content. And so you feel like then you must be quality over quantity then.
Oh, first, I mean, I try.
Yeah.
I hope it's quality.
Yep. I would agree. I mean, pushing out stuff. There's creators out there that will take. We'll use John Heald for example. He
Mm,
does normally a Thursday video. There's some
mm,
creators out there that will take the Thursday video, record it, and then put it out.
mhm.
Well, I don't get it. You're not doing anything.
So
You're just
reusing
recording.
content that's already been done. Yeah.
Exactly. So
I mean, and that's fine because some people
yeah,
don't go on the Facebook page and
don't
like
have
watch
time
it.
to. We have to
Yeah.
work, so you can go to your favorite YouTube channel and watch it, which is great as well. But it kind of takes away a little bit of that personal touch, and I think that's what we both love about the channel is we get to do our own stupidity, if there's
Yeah,
no
and
other
believe
way
me,
to put it.
you'll get those comments that people will say, like, we'll get comments that people, complain about something like, oh,
All right.
don't talk with your mouth open, or don't talk over her, or whatever. I'm like, you know what?
That's us.
It's fine. Like, I'm not here to like, if you don't like it, unsubscribe
Yeah.
or don't subscribe.
So if you're just coming on, thank you for all that is coming on the chat. If you have any questions for Liz and Chris, just put it in the chat and I will ask the questions while we're going. So I know you said you did a lot of cruises before you started content creating and being a YouTuber. What was your first cruise? What was your first experience? If you can remember, because you had so many. And what was the first cruise line? What was your first?
I mean, we'll always remember because it was our honeymoon.
Yep.
Oh,
1999. Just to
1999.
date
Yeah.
ourselves a little bit. That was our honeymoon
It was
cruise.
the Carnival Destiny.
Yep.
And
okay.
at the time, it was like the biggest ship out there.
Yep.
And like, we had no idea. We'd never been on a cruise. And so like, we went through a travel agent. We had a nice balcony room. It was a honeymoon. And like, it
Mhm.
was like this floating city with a casino. Oh my gosh. It's amazing. And bars and restaurants.
We do love the casino.
But it was like such a fun experience. That you didn't have to worry about like planning. You could either do a lot, you could do a little. You got to see all these wonderful like islands and
the Caribbean destinations. At that point, we were living in Connecticut. I'm from Connecticut. She's from New York, and we, never been to the Caribbean. I had family in Florida, so I've been to Florida, this, that, and the other. And yeah, no, we absolutely fell in love with
Okay.
it, and we've been quite hooked ever since, quite frankly.
yeah, that was so we did that in 99. I think
Yep.
our next cruise was to Canada
Which was
out of New
great
York.
cruise.
Out of New York. So we did a
Mhm.
5-day to Halifax and New Brunswick, right?
And
And St. John.
Yep. Funny part about that is I lived in Connecticut, literally 45 minutes from New York City's Statue of Liberty, my whole
Yeah.
life, 25 at that point in time. And I never seen the Statue of Liberty up close and personal. And
Okay.
the cruise we went by, I'm like, oh.
Amazed.
It was so cool.
But then we moved to Florida, and then it was like, oh, we're so close to all these
Mhm.
cruise ports.
You gotta go.
Gotta
Yeah.
go. And then it just became a thing. It was like every February, July, December, February, July, December, and sometimes October and sometimes May. And, we just kept doing it. And, I was really big on taking pictures. The big shift for me is to take video.
Right.
hmm
I take thousands of pictures, but no video. And you can't put pictures up on it. Like our first video was nothing but pictures.
It was a
It
slideshow.
was a test to see if I could like figure it out. But like, I mean, you can put pictures, but like you need video content. And so that was a shift for me to learn to take videos.
So how was there any misconceptions about cruising before your first one? Because sometimes when when it comes to, because I'm a travel agent as well. So sometimes people are like, I don't want to be in the water that long. What happens if something happens? Maybe I don't know if I'll get seasick. And so was there any kind of like feelings of that, of apprehension before going on your first cruise?
I mean, for me, it was the seasickness because I always get sick, like
Hmm.
driving the car, on small boats. Like I was worried about it. Didn't happen though. I didn't have
Well,
to take
good.
sea bands. I didn't, I mean, yeah, there's been rocky cruises, but like for me, it's like you really could barely tell you were on water. And yeah, I mean, to me, it was like it's just such a no frills experience. You go on there, you just don't
Yeah.
have to carry anything with you. I mean, now you got to have your phone everywhere, but
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
before, it was like you throw your phone in the safe, lock it up for the week, and like you're good.
yep. And what was I saying for me? But seasickness wasn't really a concern of mine. I've been on little itty bitty boats my whole life. I grew up on Long
Yeah.
Island Sound in Connecticut. But just seeing the Caribbean, I mean, I remember going to Miami Beach to visit relatives and seeing that water. And Liz, they want to do a cruise for the honeymoon. I'm like, oh hell yeah, and it's just amazing, absolutely amazing. I mean, a lot of people are like you said, oh, what if this happens? What if that happens?
Yeah.
It is a floating city. They have an infirmary, they have a brig, they have security guards, they have
Yeah.
so many different things in place. And now that we know more about it, it's like, yeah, this is great. It is a floating vacation. What if you go to Disney? You walk into
Mm.
Disney. $250 a day just to get into Disney. Then you got to buy the hotel, this,
Yeah.
that. So we found cruising to be a super economical way to enjoy a great vacation where you don't have to book a hotel. You don't have to book
Yeah.
a rental. I mean, luckily we live in Florida, so we don't have to worry about booking flights, this, that, and the other. So to me, I don't know. It's one of the best vacations you can do. Obviously, we're Carnival Cruise Addicts. We have
Yeah.
plenty of friends that cruise other lines, and it's the same for them. It's just a great I can't say all inclusive, but a great way to de-stress, not worry about so many different things you have to worry about on a
Yeah.
land-based vacation. And
Sure.
love it.
So you are called Carnival Cruise Addicts. Have you cruised outside of Carnival? And what were the cruise lines?
So we've done it twice.
Yep.
One
Okay.
was on Bahamas Paradise, which really doesn't count because
It's now Margaritaville at
Let's
sea.
see. Uh-huh.
yeah, and that was not really a real. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's not.
It was a 2-day cruise,
Yeah.
So we
And then
got on the boat, woke up in Freeport, got off the boat, went to Freeport, got back on the boat, and woke up in Miami.
and
And
then
they still have that itinerary now,
Yeah.
the one that's out of West Palm Beach
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
on the Margaritaville. Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's a great starter cruise, honestly.
Yeah.
I would do the Islander before I did that one, though, quite honestly. But anyway,
But the Islander has
all
longer
right. The
cruises.
question.
Oh, sorry.
And the
We
island there is a spirit class.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, it is.
Yeah.
So we tried NCL because we were hitting our 25th milestone
Right.
cruise on Carnival, and we didn't want to
Waste our credit.
waste our credit on like a short cruise because we wanted to go on a short cruise. So we like said, let's just do a 3-day on
Right.
NCL
We want our 25% off on the 7-day cruise.
on the 7-day cruise, right?
Yeah.
So, but we tried it on Norwegian Sky, which maybe it's been refurbished, but it was like a 3-day booze cruise.
It was it was an epic
And
fail.
so it's not fair. Like I would like to try the newer ships, the MSC. I mean, we're open to trying, but we get such good
Okay.
deals at Carnival.
We are the casino people, so we do get great casino deals. And
So until they
we're-
dry up, we're
yeah.
sticking to Carnival.
Or somebody says, we're going to give you the exact same deal that you're getting on Carnival to go with us. I mean, we'll definitely open to try it.
Yeah.
Definitely open to try it.
So I know a lot of people, when they have casino deals, that's the same kind of feeling that I cannot pass it up, right? I can, because these deals, I'm literally probably getting on there only port fees and I'm not spending for the. So if you didn't have those things, would you still do Carnival? Would you still love Carnival like that? Like, I know you didn't have much to experience against it because you did,
Yeah.
Bahamas
I mean,
and then
we
you
would
did.
try. We try MSC. We try Norwegian again.
To answer the question, yes, I would stay on Carnival. I think one of the things, because we haven't been on many cruise lines, but we know a lot of people that have, I think the crew is one of the things that continuously draws us back to Carnival. Whether you're paying full price or you get a casino deal, I mean, the crew is freaking amazing. Sitting down with them sometimes and chat with them, the bartenders, the servers, like on some of the boats, the smoking sections. Like there's a bar there and everybody's smoking, but the guy that and girls that are cleaning up out there still come by and chat with you. You know, just having a good time. And I can't really remember any crew member that went, "This sucks." Actually, there was one, but he was a bit of a turd. But everybody else is like, it's great. I get to provide for my family, and they say Carnival takes care of them very well. And part of the yakety yaks and stuff we put out there is the myths that are busted. That people say, oh, they only rely on tips or they only get a salary, this, that, and the other. For where they're from, they get paid very well. And the tips and stuff like that go a very long way for them. And a lot of the people are, I mean, literally 99.999 keep going percent of the crew is so freaking amazing. And to me, that's the main reason I continue to go back with Carnival, because the negative experiences are absolutely minimal at best, and it makes you feel special to be recognized by the crews. I mean, 5 cruises later, we see the same crew member, and they're like, "Hey, Chris and Liz," we're like, "What the hell did you say? We haven't been here in 6 years." And they're like, "Oh yeah, blah 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 blah." So to me, I would casino deals or not, I would absolutely continue to cruise Carnival because of the crew. That's just me.
I mean, I would, but I would try others in the meantime.
Again, I'm open for it.
Yeah. I'd be open to try it. Like, I have to have an open mind though, because I think a cruise is what you make of it.
Agreed.
And if you go in like with the set expectation, you're either gonna like have a great time or you're gonna ruin it,
So Chris, tell us one of the biggest myth busters since you've been doing the Yakety Yak series, and maybe one of the funniest questions, like crazy, like, are you serious? Like, you're really asking this question? Like, tell us, tell us like something from like, you're like, I can't believe you really like you're asking this question. And maybe something like John Hell, as you said about the tips, that seems to be a big thing. People are not tipping. It's always in the forums. Like, people don't want to tip, or if you take it out, then they go before and take it back. They would rather just give money in people's hands, all this stuff. So just kind of tell us about biggest mythbusters you saw, and something ridiculous that you surprised somebody asked.
So I'll give you 2 from the upcoming 100th episode. And that's what me and Liz were like, what are we going to do for the 100th? That's kind of cool. We hit 100 episodes. So we went back through all of the 99 we did, and we were trying to see the commonality between the questions, the most popular questions, the things people ask all the time, every freaking day. And I don't know how John does this. But I'll give away one that I personally thought, and I almost peed myself when I saw this. On his page, it said, they asked, "Hi, John, new to the page. How do I ask you questions?" And John, he's normally pretty snarky, and he's like,
you just did.
Yeah,
exactly.
You just did. How do I ask if you just asked 3 big questions?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that was one of my funniest. And I think, what was the most common one, Liz, that we did?
Well, I think it's most common is always like, well, they do. No, it's not the most common. Do you like the one that's like silly, like the Mythbuster? Like they know, the crew knows when you've taken the tips away,
right?
Or they don't get paid. They only get paid on tips. There's no salary.
Yeah,
that's a common one.
Yeah.
The most common, I think people want. I see this a lot, is they want a different type of cheers package,
right?
In between, like the bubbles, but not like fully alcoholic.
Yeah. So if you only drink 3, 4, 5 drinks a day, can we get a lesser package? And his answer is always no.
Yeah.
can you do it for soda this time? It's like the reason we do the Cheers package is so we can save you money, and so if you buy, I mean, we did a couple videos on that, and if you buy like 5 or 6 drinks a day, not even
Well, they
alcoholic,
just raised it, so
yeah,
maybe
you can get coffees, sodas, stuff like that on the Cheers package, and you'll easily get your money back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
I think adults only. People want adults only
yeah, yeah.
cruises.
Mhm.
I mean, there's just like it is like going through it's like the same questions over and over and over again.
If people
Yeah.
just went back a week, maybe 2 weeks, you don't even have to go back months and read the questions from a day. They're like, oh, there's my answer. Oh, there's my answer. Oh, there's
Yeah.
my answer.
Yeah, but yeah, it's fun. It's fun to do.
It is. I don't know how that poor dude does it. We're going on actually our cruise in February.
Yeah, the John
Yeah.
Heald FFS 7 cruise we're going on.
Oh, I did one of those on Freedom. So I
Okay.
haven't, yeah, I haven't been back, but I did at least one of those. I'm probably gonna go back one of these days. Okay, is this gonna be your first one?
Yes,
Yes.
we're so excited.
Oh, okay, good, good.
Yeah.
So I think that's the thing. Once you start cruising with other cruise lines, you may see what other cruise lines have, and you want that. So
Mhm.
even with the drink package, I've sailed on MSC, and I did a back to back one time, and they have a non-alcoholic drink package.
Mm,
So non-alcoholic will allow you to have the virgin pina coladas, all of the mocktails, teas, coffees, and so it gives you a little bit more without having to be straight alcoholic package.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I think when people compare, they're probably saying, well, this cruise line has it. Can Carnival have something just in between?
yeah,
Because there are a lot of people say, I don't drink, but maybe I don't just want to be drinking water, lemonade, and iced tea all the time. And so can I have just an in between if possible? So I think that's what it is. When people start sailing, they kind of know like, oh, this has it. Why can't Carnival have it as well? And
yeah.
so comparison, that's all that
Yeah,
is.
I mean, I tell you, your average mixed drink, I think, is $10 now on Carnival, 10 or 11.
Maybe even a little more. Yeah,
So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fine line between are you going to save $1? Is it worth the package? Or are you going to save $4 or $5 a drink? And Carnival is a more budget friendly cruise line than any
Yeah.
of them out there. You know what I mean? So if they're going to do something, it's got to have an effect on your budget.
Yeah.
If it saves you $1 a drink, I don't think many people are going to care about that. If they're saying, hey, I'm spending $70 a day for the drink package, but if I drink, say, 10 drinks a day and they're $12 each, I'm saving $50 a day. That
Mm.
is impactful. You
yeah,
know what I
Yeah.
mean? If you're saving $5 a day, I don't think most people will be like, oh, it's $5. I mean, yeah, it's $5. Don't get me wrong, but 50 is a little bit different than $5 a day.
Yeah.
And the coffees are $4 each. So even if you drank a lot of coffee a day, I don't know, it kind of works out. But they have to do stuff to maintain the lower baseline ticket price.
Got you.
That's what people look at is the ticket price. I'm going on Royal. This room, say whatever, everything matched up is $4,000, but it's $3,000 on Carnival. That's $1,000. That's not $2 a day. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's where I think they're kind of coming from.
I don't know. I feel like the prices used to be a lot different. I feel like they're a lot more comparable now because like
Mhm.
they're selling full. Like
Mhm.
there's such high demand. I don't know. You tell us. You're the travel.
Yeah, you're a
You know.
travel agent.
Yeah.
I think coming out of the pandemic, people still had a fear of cruising. So even people who were regular cruisers, and so therefore you could get really great deals, like because the demand wasn't as high, and they were trying to woo people back to cruising. And so once the demand started increasing, all of a sudden you saw the prices started to increase. Maybe some of the deals wasn't as prevalent as well. So maybe where you would see a lot more deals and decent deals throughout the year, you may now only see it around Black Friday or what they call wave season, which is at the beginning of the year. And so at the meantime, then things like Wi-Fi is going up. Things like even the simplest thing on Carnival, like I remember shirts used to be two for
Oh yeah.
20 or something like that. Now it's I
Yeah.
think two for 40 or
Or
something.
40, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so even something like that, you could see the increases of prices on the ship itself. The Wi-Fi is going up, even though it's not tremendous, but every little bit counts after a while. The drink package is going up. And so when the demand is high, then you will have also a higher price. So therefore, so then you have to weigh your options then, right? So the options I think you would have to weigh is, okay, I have the same itinerary for older ship. Does my love for older ship, a newer ship, outweigh the fact that I could spend way less on an older ship to go to the itinerary, or is my love for a newer ship outweighs the fact that I still want a newer ship with all the bells and whistles? Forget about the price tag. I just want the newer ship, even
Yeah.
if there's a similar itinerary for older ship. And
Yeah.
so I don't think I think it doesn't matter to you, right? Bigger is better or no? Like,
You like the
Nah.
mid-sized
Yeah.
ships. Like I like Spirit Class personally is
okay.
my favorite. But even a little bigger than that, I like the Excel just for the experiences that you can do, the different venues. I like it.
Mhm.
He does not like the Excel class.
I just
Really?
no, I'm not saying I don't like the Excel class. I think it's too big. That's my personal
Oh,
opinion.
you can never go on Icon.
No, oh
You
my
can
God,
never
no.
But
you
that's
can
the
No.
never
thing. I mean, the last cruise we just got off, the people that we met embarking, we
uh-huh.
saw on the cruise
Yes.
multiple times,
Yeah.
and we made friendships, and we saw them, and we were in the casino, we were at the bar, we were at dinner, we were at Lido, and we saw them over and over. It was really cool. If you see somebody on an Excel class ship again, it's like they had a
Well,
glowing halo with lights and a blinker so you can identify them. I don't know. I love the personal aspect of the large to mid-size ship, the Excel class to me. If you went like we actually made the mistake of getting a forward-facing room.
Okay.
And if you forget something
oh,
and you got to go to the back to get something,
the front.
vice versa, it's a 6 hour walk.
Yeah.
Damn near 50 years old. My fat butt does not want to be walking from front to back because I forgot my lanyard or I forgot
Or
something.
even the buffets in the back and we were in the
Yeah,
front. But let me remind you, the most friends we ever made on a cruise ship was on Mardi Gras
that was because of one single table
at the
in the
casino.
casino.
That's true. That's true.
Oh,
That's true.
Yeah,
okay.
sitting down at the 3 card poker,
That's true.
we met some amazing people and they were there. It was like cheers every night. We were all sitting there at around X time and playing for the rest of the night. So it was a different
Okay,
experience.
that's a fair point. But I personally like it because I love like the different experiences, the different food
Okay.
options. I like the boat. I like all the cool. Like we were on the Spirit Class. I looked at the mini golf. It was like ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like three
Yeah.
little holes, and it was like
Right.
But you know what? Those ships will always have a place in our heart
Yeah.
because that's how we started.
Yeah.
We like the silly decor and like the new ships are nice,
They're great.
but I
They're
like the old kind of
Joe Farkas style ships,
yeah.
and they're setting them into dry dock and they're updating them, and that's one of the things John gets asked a lot is, hey, are you going to introduce some mid-size or larger ships
hmm
versus Excel or larger? And they're like, no cruise line. There's literally no cruise line, Carnival included, that's going to, we're going to build a small ship. It's not going to happen
Yeah.
because they are in business. Every single cruise line is there to make money. Period. End of story. It's a business. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But book the ship you like. That's kind of what I have to say.
So I think Carnival has to be competitive with Royal because Royal keeps going bigger. But I did read an article where people were posing the question to I think it was the CEO of Royal, and they say, will you build smaller ships? Because some of the ships that are mid-size are older, they're getting worn and torn. So will you get, and so there is some type of talk about it, but I think right now Carnival has to play catch up. You know, you have
Yeah, I
Utopia,
agree.
you have Icon, you have Star. So right now, I think that is far from their decision. They really have to play catch up in these next few years to get bigger ships and more exciting things. And so what is your favorite? Let's start with Liz. What is your favorite class, and then what is your favorite ship? It doesn't have to be in that class. You said
I do think
Spirit. I don't know.
the legend is my favorite of the spirit class. So we were
Okay.
on the legend. I really love that ship. We've been on it now like 3 times. I just love like the secret. Well, I didn't like the legend secret passageway, but
No,
they
it's
have these
creepy
like,
as
yeah, but they have these little secret passageways.
Yeah,
I,
I know. I've been on there, and I was
yeah,
on there.
that's a creepy one,
yeah.
but that class ship is my favorite.
Okay. And Chris?
I'm gonna have to agree with her that in the Destiny class because it's a smaller.
Well, there is no Destiny class
Well,
anymore.
it was the Destiny class. It's the Sunshine, but that size. I mean, 100,000 tons to maybe 150 in that size ship. I think is my
Mhm.
favorite because it
You like a glory, you like a conquest, you like a valor, you
and
like a
Yeah.
magic.
with the
You like
dry
all this.
dock, they're adding new stuff. You know, they're adding all the cool features, different water slides, stuff like that. That my personal favorite. I mean, we're actually going on the Paradise,
Oh,
which
Paradise. I've been on the Paradise. Okay.
yeah, our back in the day, we used to go to Miami all the time for, as I call it, the Shun class ships: Fascination, Sensation, Imagination, and it's a great older style of ship. So maybe I'm just a little bit too waxing in nostalgia, and I love those, but the new ships have so much more to do. I'm a
Yeah,
simple
exactly.
I'm a simple dude. Give me a decent casino, somewhere with a bar, and a room with a balcony. I'm on the
The
boat.
grand atrium with the glass
Oh yeah,
elevators,
love
like
those.
that we love.
Oh,
Like the
Okay.
Vista class with the funnel, like we don't like that.
mm.
The weird setup with center stage, that's just like, I mean, it's
It's
fine, but it's not the same wow factor, right?
So, I'm thinking that I know you love the older ships, but do you feel like you go on an older ship and you're like, well, they don't have this, they don't have that? Because Paradise, my family just came off of it. It doesn't have the movie screen. I know Legend just put that up, I think, in the last
It's
dry dock.
tiny.
So they don't
thank
put
you.
they don't have Paradise doesn't have specialty restaurants. So like sometimes people love to have their steakhouse, stuff like that.
You don't
And
have
so do
Eddie? Not even a steakhouse?
I don't think so. I think they didn't have anything. I have to ask them, but
Says the vegetarian not going to a steakhouse. That's another conversation altogether.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And so do you feel it limiting, or you just kind of just make do because you still kind of like one of the thing about the Legend though, because I did it for the UK cruise, and then one of the things that my friends and I thought was we come back from these long excursions, and then we didn't feel like we had to take forever to go to dinner. We was like, it didn't take long to go up to the Lido, and it didn't take long to go down for dinner. And so we didn't have to walk, as you said, for Mardi Gras the XL. We didn't have to walk forever to get somewhere. It was like easy accessible to get to certain things. So that was the benefit. But then at the same time, when I did go to Paradise, I was like, oh, it doesn't have this. And then at night, well, I know they've changed it since that now they're bringing back food to be later, 10:30, 11 o'clock. But when I went on Paradise, all they had was pizza
Yeah.
Yeah.
late at night. So it was like, oh my gosh, like so the big line just for pizza, because you didn't have a lot of options. So that's the I guess the trade-off. Bigger, you may have more stuff, as you said, but then you just love,
I mean,
what you like.
I mean, we're so fortunate that we get to cruise multiple times a
Yeah.
year. Like, so for us, it's not that important because there's always going to be another cruise.
Got
I
you.
If I'm someone who's like recommending to a family or friend, they're like, this is their only vacation that year or in a couple of years, like I would probably say don't go on the Paradise, right? On the one with there's more options, go on one
Hmm.
with more bells and whistles. But like for us, because we're so fortunate and blessed to be able to do that, like I'm gonna go on the Paradise. I'm gonna see like remember these tiny little atriums or these grand atriums and how
Yeah.
tiny and like kind of tacky looking and it's kind of fun, but like ugly at the same time.
But people don't remember that because they haven't been on those cruises, So
Yeah.
They were a newer cruiser last couple 3-4 years and never
Mhm.
been on one of the little mini ships.
Yeah.
Much like we were complaining about the excuse me, the Norwegian Sky earlier. Then you're not used to it, so you're gonna get on there and go, "Oh, this is a piece of crap." You know what I mean? And I can understand that. For us, it's nostalgic. But yeah, I mean, I would definitely say if you're gonna get on a first cruise, it's got to be mid-size or above. I would say go 100,000 tons or above on any cruise line.
Yeah.
And most of them, even if it's an older ship on any line, they've all dry docked them. They've all
Yeah.
added some sort of bells and whistles to the older ships to keep them in fleet, because the Carnival ones they're building now are 1.5 to 2 billion with a B
Yeah.
dollars each. And the same with every cruise line. They're
Yeah.
spending $1 to $3 billion to build a boat. Ship, sorry.
And that's why it's so expensive to get on one of them, because if the demand is high, then they have to make their money back. So they're going
Yeah.
to try to make their money back as soon as possible.
Well, yeah, and some of them, I mean, I think it was the Icon. They were putting out $7,000 for a 7-day vacation.
Oh
Was
yeah, the
minimum.
rooms are crazy.
It's crazy.
Tell them to go ahead and kiss my behind. I'm gonna wait a year or two. I am not spending $1,000 a day to go on vacation anywhere.
Yeah.
Cruise.
Exactly.
If they said, "Hey, we're going to the moon for $1,000 a
That
day,"
was-
I'm like,
that was
"Nah,
probably-
I'm out. I'll be not
That was an
happening."
inside room too. Like the
Yeah.
prices were.
Yeah, you're talking 100 square foot
Yeah.
room, $7,000. Balconies were $12,000 to $15,000. Yeah, I mean, that's where it's a little bit out of control with, I think, a lot of the cruise lines, because it's out of affordability. I was
Mhm.
complaining about Disney earlier. That puts it way outside of that range. But I love cruising.
It's
So.
what people will pay though. I mean,
Exactly.
at the end of the day,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Sold
If they
out.
want that bigger ship, they're gonna go crazy for it. It's like I always call it the iPhone effect, right?
Mhm.
The newer ship, they was going crazy. They was lining up for it. It didn't
Android.
matter.
Android.
Android, me too.
Real phone.
So, they go crazy for it. They was lining up for it. They want the new one. It didn't matter what it was, how much it cost. They just wanted that new functionality. And so people are doing that kind of with cruises. Earlier, you talked about the things you loved about Carnival, why you would go back even without necessarily the casino deals. So what are some things you kind of like, you've been cruising Carnival for some time, you would like for them to change? Some things that you feel like, oh, this could be better. I wish they could do this, or I wish they could introduce that, or what is it? Some things like, it may be a ship to ship or just overall kind of a situation.
I mean, they definitely look. Everyone talks about cutbacks. They've had their own version of cutbacks. You talked about late night pizza. Now they're stopping that at midnight so they can do more in the buffet. I prefer the pizza, so like that irritates me. But like charging for popcorn. Like, did you really need to charge the $4? Like, give me a break. It
And
wasn't.
then service charge on top of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just. But like honestly, I think for us, we want them to redo the loyalty program.
Yeah.
Because when we first turned platinum and when we first turned diamond, and not that we're snobs, believe me, we're cruising Carnival. Okay, so we're not snobs here.
Yeah.
We're not those royal
But we
people.
did feel that people valued like the platinum status or the diamond status, and that like, thank you for coming back.
Yeah.
We really
Yeah.
appreciate you. I feel like it doesn't matter to them anymore.
And I 100% agree. I mean, even when we turned platinum and they changed the program from number of cruises to number of sea days, I think a cruise or two after we turned platinum. So we were grandfathered into platinum for like 12 years. But to Liz's point, you'd put your card down on the bar to get a drink, and they're like, "Oh, you're platinum. Thank you so much. We appreciate you coming back." And now it's like, you're another card. What's your drink? I got to move on to the next person. So it did take away a bit of that personal effect. I would 100% agree.
So we just want them to redo they're going to redo the loyalty program. We know they are. So whether they add another level, I do think like Diamond should get more, or like the top tier. Like I know other cruise lines get
Diamond Plus.
No, but they get like 5 free drinks.
Right.
They get like a whole lot more, maybe some like discounted Wi-Fi or something. I think Carnival could do better to recognize people who are loyal.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry, Chris.
No, I was just going to agree with her on that 100%. Like I said, going back to what I just said, it was fun, and they need a different level because a question that was asked John Heald, how many people are platinum and diamond, and this was like 2 months ago when they were talking
Hmm.
about changing the loyalty program. Over 3 million people are
Wow.
platinum and diamond on Carnival,
Yeah.
not Carnival Company, on
Yeah.
Carnival Cruise Lines.
Yeah.
So it gets diluted, and do I need to be made to feel special? No, I
Yeah.
am a everyday turd like everybody else. We're blessed to work our butts off, and we're blessed to live in Florida. And we're close to a lot of ports, so we don't
Yeah.
have the other travel expenses and stuff like that. So we're not special by any stretch of the imagination. But when you go to the Diamond and Platinum party and it takes up half the ship, it's like, oh, they might want to differentiate this, like even Carnival does for their other brands,
Yeah.
and the other cruise lines do for all their different loyalty levels. There might want to be a little bit different of a perk, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. Like some other lines, even at the lowest level, sometimes you get like a discount in the shops. I know the one I'm platinum, so I know diamond, regardless of the cruise, you'll always get a party. Whereas I think mine is I think minimum 5 days or something of that nature. And I think you would get two parties, right? Because you'd
You do
sometimes you
the
get two
diamond
parties.
and the diamond and the
Yeah,
platinum. But I'll tell
they do a
you,
diamond lunch, but that's not all the time.
yeah, so we were
Uh,
on the Sunrise, and it was a 5 day cruise.
uh-huh.
And I had got a note saying that they're not enough. So maybe there weren't enough
There
diamonds.
were 14 diamonds on the entire
Yeah,
cruise.
so that they said he could get free meal at Cucina. And then
Okay.
I got that notification in the app that it was actually going to have a party, and
Right.
like during Grand Turk. So anyway, between the whole confusion, I called them like 4 times. We ended up getting nothing,
Yeah.
Oh
which is
wow.
it was fine. We didn't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah, we don't need anything, but it is nice to get that little special thanks for cruising with us. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be monetary. Like people, excuse my French, bitch and moan
Yeah.
about the gifts that Carnival gives out. And we're not familiar with any other cruise line. So I'm speaking specifically about Carnival Cruise Lines. Like they introduced the hat.
Yeah.
And that's your platinum and diamond gift, and then a crossbody bag, and this, that, and the other. Everybody complains about it, and it doesn't matter what line you're on. They're giving you, even if it's that big, a loyalty gift of saying
Yeah.
thank you. If you don't wear hats, give it to your friend. If you
Yeah.
don't like crossbody bags, give it to your friends. But that particular cruise line is giving you something for free, saying thank you for your loyalty. Don't complain about it. If somebody walked up to you on the street and said, "Oh man, you walk by my house 50 times a day,
Yeah.
I'm giving you $5." You're gonna look at that person and go, $5? What the hell are you giving me $5 for? I want $20. Well,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
walk back and forth. Here's something free.
What are you talking about?
Enjoy. Just enjoy the little things that are given by each cruise line. That's all I'm saying.
What you talking about, Willis?
What you talking about, Liz? Yes, we're old.
Well, I have seen some of the complaints, and I think some of the complaints is like this, like for all the cruising I've done, and this is all I get. Is that kind of like a feeling? And so something like, oh, they gave a luggage tag set and all this different stuff, and it's just like, I don't know. Like when I started getting, it, it's like, oh, this is nice. I got like a fanny pack. I think that was the first one. When I was
Very important fanny pack.
Yes, open it up, read the inside. It says VIFP, very important fanny pack. It's pretty cool.
So, I mean, I think I'm like that. I just appreciate, something. I don't think I'm like, I wish it was something better. I just appreciate the fact that and I'll make sure I get it also.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't like, I don't want that. Like, I'll make sure I get it. So it's because it's for me.
I think one of the things I like about Carnival too is they have a sense of humor on almost everything they do.
Hmm.
Like the sign that said getting off the ship to the gangway. And in small print, it said the little plank thing that gets you from boat to land. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah,
little stuff like that. I'm silly, and stuff like that just
you just
amuses
love it.
me.
Yes, he's silly.
Yeah.
So bucket list trips. So where do you want to go? Are you going to use some of that casino deals to do something Mediterranean, Greenland or Iceland? Like, what are some bucket list trips that you have in mind? I know some of those things take a long time, so that's the thing. You don't want to do a
Yeah.
21 day and it eats up all of your vacation time, right? So that'll
Yeah.
be it for the whole year. So what are some things that you have like on your mind, on the bucket list? You may not have it scheduled for next year, but you want to do it.
So I think like longer term, definitely Mediterranean, definitely Europe. Like we would want to do all that. But
Panama Canal would be cool.
yeah, but like because of the PTO, I would actually rather cruise more often throughout the year than like one big chunk of time because just
Gotcha.
like work, I need to have more
Yeah.
mental breaks,
I'm,
right?
I'm retail. I can't take 3 weeks off and get
Correct.
pets.
Yeah. But we did just book for 2026 Alaska, which
Nice.
for us is a big deal because we do have to fly and then
Yep.
take the extra day on each side. But
And she has to pack way less
I
because the
know.
bags are at a maximum weight, and I'm the guy dragging the luggage through the port of Miami. It's like 80 pounds each. I'm like, ah. I'm kind of looking forward to
Okay,
Alaska. These
I
bags are gonna
dragged
be
the
light.
luggage too, so stop it.
Bags to carry.
Anyway, so we did book that, and so
Yes.
that was a big
Definitely bucket
Oh,
list.
that's really good.
We're really excited.
Yeah.
Well, what and Carnival, but what ship?
Um,
Ooh, I gotta go to the app.
A Miracle or
I
Spirit?
think it's
Spirit?
Spirit.
Spirit?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So
cool. I think,
everybody on here, if you're cruisers like we are and you like looking at other people's cruises, everybody sign up for Shipmate. It's a really cool app. You can
yeah.
see your cruises, log them, and you can see if you're friends with friends that the what cruises they're going on. I don't have it in mind.
Oh, because
So
I
I
didn't.
yeah,
no,
I'm on Shipmate as well. So, I think y'all put me on the Shipmate.
yes,
So
It's a great app. We've
it's
been doing it for
fair.
I don't know how long. And now it just like everything else, it advances. It's more integrated, more interactive. Sorry, that was the word I was looking for. So it's pretty
yeah.
cool. The Spirit?
It is Spirit. Yeah.
Spirit 2026.
2026, July of 2026. Yeah.
That'll be our
So
anniversary.
So you want to take advantage. So I think going forward, I said to myself because I'm doing some I kind of want to finish up the Caribbean as much as I can, and so going forward to take as much get take advantage of the time. So are you going to do a lot more like 3 day cruises, just kind of like a quick getaway, because of that? So then you don't use as much time, especially during holiday weekends. I like holiday weekends, like I did. This Carnival Glory was around Veterans Day weekend that I'm posting this month, so that. Monday was a day off. I flew back home on Monday. And so Friday is off, and then maybe flew into Florida on Thursday,
Yeah.
right after work. So like these kind of tricks so that you could still vacation without, and as you said, the fact that you can just drive to the port,
Yeah.
is that morning you're getting on the ship, you could just drive to the port. That's even like a great incentive.
Yeah.
Makes a world of
Yeah.
difference.
So I look, I prefer longer cruises that like a minimum of 6 days. We did a
Okay.
5 day in October, and that was fine too. But like I felt like I needed more time. We are doing a 3 and 4 day back to back in July next
Our first
year.
ever back to back.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
But we're doing that because it goes to Celebration Key twice, which is the new. So we thought we could get like different experiences, at each port or each stop.
Hmm.
I don't like 3 day cruises because by the time you get there, get on, it's time to leave. Like
They're more of a party cruise, which we did when we were younger. We're not younger anymore. You know what I mean? We're getting older. I have no hair. Most of it's gray. So yeah, I mean the nothing against the 3-4 day cruises. They're party cruises. That's what they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
As we get older, we want the more quiet time, the more relaxed time. I don't want to go out on my balcony and it smells like, Club 54 from New York, nothing but weed and music.
Studio 54.
Studio 54, sorry.
Yeah.
So I mean, 2 cruises ago, I was sitting on my balcony and all you smell was weed, smoke.
Wow.
The music was crazy loud because everybody brought their speakers. That's not me anymore. I'm getting older.
Well, and when it's a shorter cruise, I feel like rushed to have an experience. Like
Yeah.
I don't feel like we have enough time.
Even
to,
on
like,
the
relax.
5 day, she's like, I didn't get everything. I didn't get this. I didn't get that. I didn't get this, you know. So now that we're content creators, the longer cruises, you do get more time to do it and still enjoy your cruise. Because that was one of the things we told each other. If it gets to the point where we are having to do stuff for content versus enjoying our vacation, yeah,
We're done.
yeah, done.
So one of
And
the things I did to kind of balance it out, um, and one of my lives or something, I asked people about it, and it seems like more and more content creators are doing this as well. On a sea day, let the day be for you. And then at night, or maybe in the afternoon after you relax, maybe, chilled a little bit, then do the content creator of some of the light times, especially Carnival. You know Carnival is going to be turned up at night. You know you're going to have the deck parties, you're going to have the production shows and stuff like that. So then you kind of have a balance of the two without
Yeah.
feeling like every day, every moment of the day, as soon as you wake up, you're just recording just for content's sake.
yep,
Yeah.
well said. She's an early riser. So if you notice, like pretty much every ship tour she posts, there's no people in there because it's
That's
5 o'clock in the bleeping morning.
But
And
that's why I do it. So I did Sun Princess ship tour. Some people like, oh, I wish you did it later so I could have people around. I was like, I don't want people necessarily I just want you to see the ship as is, like without people necessarily walking back and forth and things of that nature. And so I prefer it to, even though, so that's the reason why. If it is a 3-day cruise, as you said, like sometimes to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to record and go around that ship, a little difficult, you know, especially if it's like a deck party or something the night before, and then to wake up 5 hours early later on is a little bit difficult. So
yeah,
I got you.
yeah, we've had our back and forth. You know, I mean, I like people in the shots because it gives you the experience of the cruise, but she's 100% correct when it comes to a ship tour. No, it needs to be the ship tour. You know, if you're doing a walkie or a talkie, sure, fine. Have the people in there. But for the ship tour, she's 100% right. And well, I'm married 25 years. Of course she's right. But she is actually right. It makes for a much
opinion. There's
yeah,
no right or wrong.
for a ship tour, she's 100% right. It makes a much better video. I agree with the both of you. You get to see the ship, not people walking around.
So I'm gonna go through some comments because I
All
know a
right.
lot is just saying hi and everything of that nature. So go on the go with YOLO says that's with me and with RCL. Casino deals and cruises are my thing. So
Yeah.
for those people, so okay, so let's go back to that for a second. So I'm not gonna say how much you have to spend, but what was the first casino deal where on Carnival and you're like, oh my gosh, I cannot. If you can remember, I cannot think you can't
We've been cruising for 25 years, 25 years.
No, I don't know. I mean, I remember what we paid in '99. It was like $3,700 for a balcony cabin
Yep,
for,
2.7
two
day.
people. That didn't include the flight. That was
Right.
just the um I mean, I won't even tell you what the deals are. Like people hate us. Like
Yeah.
we get really good deals.
Yeah, I was
But
see some people do screenshots. I was like, oh man, I don't hate. I was like, oh, I'll be like jealous because I'm only paying $100. It's like what? Like everybody's like, where you get
Yeah.
that deal from? Oh, that's a casino deal. That's a
yeah,
casino deal.
it's one of our actually, I think the most popular video she ever put out was our casino offer one from Carlos, one of our casino hosts. And he even said there's no real rhyme or reason the way it is. Because we've
Yeah.
seen people and cruise with people that have spent $100 in the casino and they have a bounce back offer at the end of the cruise.
Oh
And
wow.
people are like, oh, I spent 15 grand in the casino. I got nothing. You know what I mean? So
Exaggerating.
it's marketing. It's really marketing. So, I mean, we don't have the answer, but if you go to the casino, I would say not dollar amount, but frequency. So if you
Okay.
go to the casino quite often, on each cruise, they're probably going to give you some sort of a bounce back offer. Like we used to go on 3 and 4 days all the time out of Miami to Paradise Island. We would go to
Mhm.
Nassau. And then one day we got a random phone call and we're like, what the hell is this number? You know, and
Oh, yeah.
they're like, oh, I'm the casino host at
Mhm.
Paradise Island. And we're like, huh? He's like, I want to offer you a 3 day
At Atlantis,
stay at
not
Atlantis
Paradise
and
Island.
on Paradise Island.
Yeah.
Sorry. He goes, I want to offer you a 3 day fully paid expense down to the island. And we're like, we only go there on cruises. He's like, but we see your history. You're not spending $1 million. He goes, but you've been here every couple of months for the last 3 years. We would like you to come down and stay. So to me, I don't think it's the dollar amount. I think it's the frequency of cruises that you may start getting some sort of offers.
Well, and now, I mean, now they have, they have drinks in the casino, but
Yep.
then when you get drinks everywhere, right? Like that's like the big thing.
Yeah.
And that's what we get. So like we're saving what, a couple grand on the
Of
big
course.
package.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like
That's a good thing.
go in
Yeah.
there
And
and
we
spend
drink
money.
and we gamble. So it's just us.
Somebody, Anthony on the Move said, "Give me the complimentary laundry services and I'm good." Dealing with the VIFP. Is that one of your favorite benefits, the laundry services? I take advantage of that for a long cruise, definitely. I have taken advantage of them.
She overpacks on a 5-day cruise we can be on a cruise. They're like, oh, your cruise is delayed 28 days. We'll still have enough stuff.
Okay, so we have actually never used our laundry benefit,
Oh, wow. Okay.
but we will when we go to Alaska. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm not allowed to bring 10 pairs of underwear
Yeah.
for each of us, and
She's a very good packer. She plans ahead. She does it accordingly, and then you get your days when you're in port. You're hot, you're sweaty. You got to
Yeah.
change those clothes. She'll have backup clothes. So
Yeah.
she packs amazingly, overpacks, but amazingly.
But no, I am looking forward to using that, and I know a lot
Yeah.
of people who do, and they absolutely love it.
Yep.
So people are saying Alaska is nice, is amazing, you'll love it. And so I went on to Alaska I did Princess though, and I really enjoyed it right out of Seattle. And I spent a day in Seattle and did some things, and then I was on the cruise. And I did suffer some jet lag, so it's good that you do a day after. Because
Yeah.
I went with my sister. While my sister wasn't working, I was like, why am I so tired? Because I had jet lag. I literally had a flight come in that night, and I think I was back to work the very next morning. So
Yeah.
terrible idea when you're trying to go to the West Coast and just try to jump right back into work. And
Yeah.
so I think we've here more than an hour talking. I want to ask you one more question, not cruise related. Have you done other types of vacations, road trips, all-inclusive resorts? Like, is it something you do often, or is maybe every once in a while you'll do like a resort and just kind of like change it up?
So we've done definitely road trips. We've driven down to like Myrtle Beach or like places. We've stayed at like hotels on the beach near us here, but like honestly,
Staycations.
for like 2-3 nights in a hotel here locally, I can go on a cruise for a week. So like, and that doesn't include food when I pay for the hotel.
Right.
We've flown to
And driving and Ubers.
Yeah, but we've flown to Mexico. We stayed down in Cancun.
Yep.
I tell you, we got bored.
Yeah.
So I think we're like now
We're busybodies.
no, but because we're so used to being on a cruise ship where you go port, and you're hopping around. If you sit in one place for 5 days, I got bored out of my mind.
It's just not for us. And that was probably halfway through our cruising career, if you will.
Yeah.
We just like going from, granted, I wish for cruising, they would get to the ports at like noon, 1-2 o'clock, and then leave 8-9 o'clock at night versus getting there at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the morning and going to an all-inclusive resort. It's
Till 2 in the
it's 8 o'clock in the morning. I am not drinking at 8 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? And then by the time, your boat leaves at 2, you had a couple of beers. I'm like, I wish, and looking at different cruise lines as well, all their itineraries are into port very early and out very early. I wish they would get there later and stay a little bit later. So, if I got off the boat at noon and I went to an all-inclusive, I'm going to be a pier runner probably around 6-7 o'clock when the boat leaves, but I don't know. But yeah, no, we prefer just going place to place and seeing the sights, meeting the people, and you get a lot more of that interaction on a cruise.
Yeah. So I just want to field that question because to let you know, they are not novices. They love Carnival because of what it offers. They have been on different types of vacations, and their favorite type of vacation is cruising. If I don't see any more questions, thank you so much, Carnival Cruise Addicts, for coming
Thank
on. I had a blast. Those that are here or in the replay, ask some questions. I'll let them know if they have some questions for them or for myself. And so thank you for coming to Cruise Talk with Carnival Cruise Addicts. And until next time, happy travels. Until next time, I'll see you.